Fresh, fresh, freshy, flex. Fresh, fresh, freshy, flex. Fresh, fresh, helmets, left. Kabit cafe best.
You cannot. Hold on. Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey.
Let's go.
They say I ain't saved because I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need, and that's it. They always in my business because they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible, but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit, activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way? So
Holy Spirit, activate.
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey.
Activate. Let's go.
They say I ain't saved because I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need, and that's it. They always in my business because they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible, but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit, activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way? So
Holy Spirit, activate.
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
I was coming. I was coming. It's my turn. My turn is, oh God. Anyways, welcome to the Sean Heavyweight Show. Welcome back. As we start every show, justice for Shanquella Robinson and the Robinson family. Okay, that is why we talk about this subject at hand. So hello everyone. Hi. I hope y'all having a good day. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever it is you are. I know y'all watch all around the world. I'm popular. So shout out to all of you, and thanks for joining me. So the title says Shanquella's new photos leaked. Yeah, the leaked photos because staged. Are the photos real or fake? Okay. I'm here to tell you that I don't have the answer. I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think. I'm not going to tell you that, whether they're real or fake. I have no idea. And we don't have the best source. Again, the source is Geraldo Zuniga. And he's a horrible person. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a pretty horrible person. He's lied about a lot. Very bad reporter. Horrible reporter. Printing out his own awards and hold them in pitches, type of reporter. So, again, it's coming from a horrible person. So, again, the source is not helping the credibility with said photo that has been released. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to, dive into, other people. Well, I would say more so Nazir, because he's really the only one out of the Cabo Six that has spoken out since everything transpired in October. So let me jump in the chat and say hi to you guys, because I love you guys. Shout out to Natasha for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sweetie. And shout out to my fave, Armwood. Am I saying that right? Armwood, for becoming a new member. Welcome. Oh my goodness, Patience says, I think they are fake. Gross, Sean. Gross. I think they're fake. Shout out to Deshaun. Welcome. Moderator Janae, hey girl. Shrinking Sharon, hi, sweetie. Captain Isabella Sparrow, I like that. Hello. Also said he a whole clown. Alrighty. Kenyatta Hayes, she said El Lotto, absolutely. Not El Stupido. Shout out to Lady Tina Marie. Hey, girl. Mom of a gladiator. Hey, sexy Shaw. Hey. Ah! What up, mama? What up? What up? What up, mama? And shout out to it's because you've been around for a very long time, so I need to get your name right. Is it Athia? Hope I'm saying that right because you've been around since forever. Shout out to D'Angelo. He says I'm on all bloggers. Big dots. Me too. Lysandra, moderator. Hello, Shoni member. Hello. Hi, Lindsay. She says, Geraldo has his own YouTube channel. Join November 26, 2022. Ain't that something? Ain't that something, Lindsay girl? And he over there translating everything. What a robot. He done stole Danny Robinson whole tea. Yeah, zoo nigga. Yeah. We're on you. He no, he copying people. No. He's stealing. He's stealing from Mexico. He is stealing from Mexico, y'all. He's because now all of a sudden he'll need that lady over there. I told y'all he speak English. I tried to told y'all. He's sitting over there with this robot. Yates. Let me tell y'all. He's sitting over there with this robot. And this robot is over there translating everything for him. Okay? He over there with the Rosetta. All right? He is over there with Alexis Rosetta. All right? Is what he over there with. All right? He's over there with that. And now all of a sudden, Waffle come. He don't need that lady over there now. I said, no, where's that lady? I said, because you could have been doing all of this. You could have been doing all of this microphone to your throat because it's a hole in it. Type stuff. You could have been doing all of that. No. He could have, I need to say this. He could have been doing all of that before Lindsay. He was not doing it. Because he's sitting over there now. He got Alexis Sarah Rosetta girl over there. And now Siri Alexa Rosetta is speakerphone. I said, you could have been doing this. And that girl, he got a intro and all of that stuff. Girl, I said, not an intro. And it's professional. I said, not an intro. Girl, he got an intro. Girl, he's sitting over there with a computer. And I said, so you went from a typewriter to a computer? I said, you went from a typewriter to a computer? Shout out to Minky for the super sticker. Minky Flinky. Thank you, sweetie, for the super sticker. Girl, love you, girl. Thank you, girl. Shout out to Amara. She says, hey, baby, love you. I love you, too. You give her face. Yay. I'm just telling y'all what happened. So he's sitting over there, y'all. What, you're right, a little MacBook, mom of a gladiator. Girl, you see that? Girl, you see that over there? I said, so you ain't got no typewriter no more? So you done went from a typewriter to a whole Chromebook, MacBook. He got to sit on the little desk and all of that. I'm like, you're still ugly. You done figured out everything but that. And now that's what you get. You done figured out everything but that. You're still Uggs. What are you going to do about that? Okay? What are you going to do about sitting over there looking like that? What you going to do about that? So I'm just like, you still ain't cute. Like, you're still not giving. You're still not competition. No, because you tried it. So I'm like, no, you're trying to compete with us? I said, wait a minute. You're a reporter. Wait. Don't you got a degree or something? Like, I ain't got one. Are you trying to compete with me? I said, wait a minute. I took offense. I said, oh, wait a minute. Also, you sitting over there with the whole laboratory. I said, oh, no, you didn't. He got a backdrop and everything. I said, oh, hell no. I said, when he turned into Guadalajara Williams, I said, I know he ain't sitting over here, Wendy Williams. Look at him. I was like, oh, okay. I said, oh, this is what we doing? I saw that. No, because he tried it. So y'all have to say that. I knew what something I want to say about him. I said, oh, you feeling away with that MacBook? And I don't, okay. Are you the cat's meow now? Wow. I'm like, okay. Y'all need to stop saying that blue suede suit got something to do with this. Blue suede suit, everybody that he done mentored over there in that class have been failures. They all suck. Yeah. What? They all suck. Yeah, ain't none of them over there no successes. Ain't no successes over there, Lord. Ain't no successes over there. Girl, he over there charging $500 for failures. Okay? A bunch of losers. Because Geraldo is very so much over there still ugly. Like, what are we going to do about that? I guess they don't teach that in the class. Appeal? Is that not a part of it? Because he's sitting over there with Alexis Cyril Rosetta. Did you come up with that? Did you come up with that? Did the blue suede suit come up with that too? Y'all give him a lot of credit. I mean, he done trained a lot of people from that class. And they all suck. So, good. I don't know. Now, I do believe that blue suede suit, helped him with a little bit of this and the Cash App and then the StreamYard, not StreamYard, ScreamYard, all of that. I feel like he helped him with that. But he ain't go to Mexico and give him that setup and all of that stuff. No, y'all weird. Y'all weird. Y'all weird. Him and them teeth and that suit did not go to Mexico and put no backdrop up and all of that, put the Chromebook and celebrate. He didn't do all that. He is not that hands-on. Like, yeah, y'all tried it. So, Now, he made a little piece of this, a little piece of that. They threw him a little bit of game. But he ain't do all of that. Now, Dr. Kevorkian went over there and did all of that. Carolina, she went over there and did all that. And she also gave him this picture. He's sleeping with her. Allegedly. He's sleeping with her. So, speaking of that doctor, did I say the picture, Lord? Did I say the? I believe I did. Let me see. Did I pull it up? Speaking of Kevorkian, Carolina Kevorkian. Let me see. Hold on. How long? Oh. What? I got to delete. I have to delete. Delete. So that's in the Zen Mama Lion. Delete. So I'm gonna have to delete some of these real quick. Okay, sorry. But I'm about to pull this up of this Dr. Kevorkian. Dr. Kevorkian, where is she? Boom. So this is Dr. Kevorkian. This is the lady that let the Cabo 6 get away. And I know this is you. I have the right Latina. You tried it. Shout out to Ernestine Carter for the super sticker. Thank you, girl. Yes, you better get faced in this picture, girl. You better, girl. So, shout out to Ernestine, yes, for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetie. So this is the Cabo 7th. Okay, this is the 7th person in Cabo, okay, that had something to do with that girl Erder, with Shanquella, rest in peace. Okay, so this is, this picture, that lady right there, okay, is supposed to be her. That is allegedly her. Okay, and this picture that Guadalajara El Liar, okay, El non-tell the truth, is stating that Dr. Kevorkian is the one over here, Carolina Kevorkian or Lennis, Orleans, is allegedly her. Okay, I just want to put a face to the. And again, she ain't wearing no glasses, but right here she wearing glasses. And on Facebook, all of the other pictures that I've seen of her, she ain't wearing no glasses. She wears sunglasses often, but it's mighty weird that in this picture, this lady got on glasses. And honestly, I'm gonna keep it froggy with you. The lady in this photograph looks a lot older. Like the side of her face, you can see the age in the side of her face. If you look in between the D, if you look in between the watermark that he made sure was over her face, if you look in between the D, yay, you gotta squint, and look in between the D. Okay, she got a nose like that lady from the witches. Okay, it's pointy. You can see it's pointy, girl. Look, girl, it's pointy, girl. This doctor, her nose ain't pointy. Her nose isn't pointy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Her nose isn't pointy. Look at her nose. Look at her nose. Look at it. Is y'all looking at it? Look in the middle of her face. Y'all looking between them glasses and sunglasses? Her nose is kind of flat like mine. It's kind of flat like my nose. So, my girl, and this one, her nose is pointy. And she got on glasses. And how she wearing them glasses? She wear them glasses all the time. She wear them glasses all the time. Okay? She need them type of situation. All right. So again, if you look at this lady in the photograph, okay, this is as close to the screen as it gets without like making it blurry. I still want you to be able to see her, because I can zoom in right now, but still the watermark over the face does not help. That's why I said this is a very convenient photograph, or still, because I believe still that this is a video. I don't think that it is a photograph. So again, if you look at that lady's nose, look at I know that D right there is very annoying, but if you can see her nose still through the D. All right. And I believe that that's why he put this watermark over her nose, but it's still poking out. We can still see it. She has a pointy or nose. This lady, the one that gave the actual report, her nose is not pointy. It's not like that. I'm just saying. I'm not making anything up. This is her. This is Dr. Carolina Orleans or Orleans. Harvey's her, her, the one with the police report in the police report at the villa. This is her. Again, she got a lot of pictures with that damn dog, but he's stating that again, this is her. They didn't say nurses was there. It was one doctor, and it was a lady, a woman, and her name was Carolina, the one in the police report. And I can also pull up that as well because I keep that on deck. Let me pull that up. Charlotte Observer. And then if you also pay attention in the Charlotte Observer, again, the only time that he had right here any credibility. The Charlotte Observer obtained results from a police report earlier this week that had not yet been publicly released. The information was provided to the Observer by Geraldo Zuniga. Absolutely. Zuniga. Sorry. Zuniga. An investigative reporter who works in Los Cabos for Metropole La. All right. So again, he was running around giving that police report to anyone that would take it. He was running around here, handing it to anybody that would take that report. And again, he never gave it to the police here, the FBI here, or the Charlotte Police Department. Made sure that they got a copy so that they could get it to the FBI, the necessary parties. He never did any of that. He just sent it to publications. Clout chase. and he made sure that they state that Metropolala, say Metropolala, okay? And he made sure that every place that took it, the Guardian, the Charlotte Observer, so many other places, even I believe Gossip, and then some YouTubers, as well. It was sent to. They have a copy of the police report. So again, he was sending it to anybody that would go forward and give him credit forward. So that there was the clout chase right there. Again, how is this for justice if you are giving because again, even with this came out with the Charlotte Observer, when is this dated? December 9th, well, updated on December 9th. So it had come out long before that. But it says from a police report earlier this week that had not yet been publicly released. So that means that Mexico, no one in Mexico, Cabo, no one there released it in any press, and no one in America, like big presses, released it because again, it's not something that anybody had knowledge of. He allegedly got his hands on this police report. How we maybe paid for it. I don't know how to do things in Mexico, but he allegedly got that police report that was in Spanish, and he had it translated and sent, to as many people that would take it and say, "Hey, say my name when you post this." So again, that was his only real credibility with this police report. But again, the feds have not they have not stated anything about that police report, even if it's going to be submitted into evidence, because again, where is the actual, police report? That would be important to get to, the necessary parties, like the feds and whatnot, the actual report, not an article of the report within itself, so that can be submitted into evidence and used against, the Cabo Six and what they did. Whatever contradicting story they may come up with, they have the truth, from the report itself, type of situation. So again, I just find that that's weird with Geraldo, that if he wants justice for Shanquella, why are you not doing anything legally? Why are you not going through the necessary parties to make sure that this justice comes? It seems as if this is just something for you to discuss. It's a great story for you. And with America being pretty much ignorant to a lot of things that go on in Mexico and not being able to get certain information because they don't speak Spanish, and whatnot, and you are using that as a power is what it's giving. We can't necessarily fully tell him that he's lying with anything that may be going on in Mexico because we are not there, so we don't know what's going on. And the majority of us can't speak the first language there. So again, the language barriers, and whatnot is what's keeping a lot of people from getting accurate information. So they're willing to just run with him and what he's stating because nobody else in Mexico is talking about this in this realm and the way that Geraldo talks about it. That has to be strange to people. Come on. When there's a story big here in America, when certain information comes out, everybody's sharing it. Everybody's talking about it, even just writing an article or putting it on a piece of the information on your blog, and whatnot. We all share and recycle the same information, just find different things out about the information and express it differently. So in Mexico, why is there no one in Cabo besides him coming out with all of these antics and information about this alleged case that's going on with Dejanay Jackson and Shanquella Robinson? I just find that weird. And when the big publications here in America does share Geraldo's information, it's always misinformation. It's not them stating this is a legit, credible source of information that we've got, so we're coming forward with it. It's more so them saying like, no, we understand a lot of people are going around stating certain things about an arrest and things like that. As far as we know, no one has been detained nor arrested. That is completely false. There's no proof or trail behind it. So that is a lie. Even someone as big as Nancy Grace comes live and states that no arrests have been made. Why isn't America moving faster? We are failing this girl, all of this and whatnot. And she's talking to big honchos in, America that are connected to a different type of forces, even task forces, and whatnot, that remove these type of people from the country, or the people that are the movers and the shakers. She's speaking to them, and they're even stating that no arrest or detainments have been made in this case. But he's saying that there was. And he never comes off of that, but still kind of, it's like he pivots back and forth, which is weird. Again, if you swear that your information is accurate. I think Geraldo is a big liar. And I do think that he is using Shanquella's name in a negative way. I do, because just tell the truth. I mean, people don't mind hearing Geraldo out, and hearing the things that may be going on there behind the scenes. That's fine. But it's like, you don't have to lie. Because again, nothing he said came true. He came forward and told y'all that there was a whole second tape. There was a whole second tape. And people just let that go when he came forward and said that there isn't one. The first tape is the only tape. And so, and that's just fine. We just got to overlook that. He stated that she's arrested. She was detained by fake Interpol agents. You have huge people coming forward, even the Nancy Graces of the world, stating, nope, no arrest made. And he told y'all that it was. So he comes forward with anything at this point in time. You would be very ignorant to believe him after he's already shown you that he's a liar. You don't get to lie in certain ways and tell the truth in certain ways. No, you wanted to keep this going. The Shanquella story is losing momentum. It absolutely is. And you have people that will go to dire risk and dire lengths just so they can come up on $1 to make sure that that story is being told. Again, this doctor in the photograph is not her. I don't care what anybody says. Again, this photograph could be a real photograph. And the reason we said that, just like yesterday, was pull Expedia back up. Let's pull this back up, the Capo Villa. Now, let's get into it. No, we're not signing in. We're not doing that. We do want to see more photographs, though. So, if you look here on Expedia, well, it doesn't matter where you look, but Cabo Villas and whatnot, this is the Linda 32 suite that Shanquella and others stayed in. Now, in the photograph that is here, if you notice the blue couch, that is the one that, was, can I make it bigger? I think I can. Yes, that is this room. Okay, if you notice the black painting there on the wall, the 2 wicker chairs, and the vases and whatnot, which I don't know if they were removed, but in the photograph, it doesn't go that far for you to see the vases and whatnot. But if you pay attention in the middle of the room, which, let me pull that up. If you pay attention in the middle of that room that they were all in, there is, let me see, maybe I'll scroll too fast. Right here. So there is, because this is the same room. Let me remove this. So this is the same room, right? The wicker chairs, you see the painting. In the back is just a different view of the room. So this is the opposite side. You see how Shanquella, allegedly, that's Shanquella, where she's laying right there, how we can't see her face. If the photo was taken from here, we would have been able to see her face. So are you guys with me? This is the actual room. And pay attention to the chest in the middle of the floor, because in the photograph, if you pay attention where the responder is, and on the side where the Dr. Kevorkian alleged is, you see the chest behind them. There is a chest right there behind them. If you look, you'll see the chest. And because if you remove the picture, that's the chest right there. And the chest would be in front of the wicker chairs. If you look, you see the 2 wicker chairs right there with the black painting in the background. The chest is in the middle, like a table setting, But in this photograph, it's removed. It's to, they moved it. So again, it's still very confusing. Still very confusing. But again, this chest on the side and this sofa is a clear indicator of, I do believe that this is this room. I do believe. Without, I don't see the wicker chairs and whatnot, but again, they could have been in front of the chest. But that does seem to be that room. It does seem, that does seem to be true. I'm not gonna lie. It's this doctor to me that's in question. That confuses me. But again, with it being staged, what people allegedly saying that it was staged, I could see that too. So, meaning it's a newer photograph type of situation, and that's someone else that is laying there other than Shanquella, meaning this photograph was created, not organic, meaning that's not even allegedly her that is on the floor. So, if this photograph is staged, why will one go to so many lengths, to stage it? That's what's given, like, maybe this photograph is real. But is that Shanquella? The question. I don't know. What do y'all think? I would love to hear what y'all think about that. It could be fake, like a stage situation, or this could be a genuine photograph from, or a still shot from a video. I don't know. What do y'all think? Because with that chest being there in this room, it is the room. You can see that from the photograph here. This is that same room with the chest in the middle of the floor, and it has a rug right there. So, and again, in the photo, there is a rug that they are on. So that checks out. From what I see, I mean, what do y'all think? That checks out. It could be a real photo. It absolutely could be. Because that's what I'm like. Because I got to look around more. Because I don't know. Because Nazir said it was just tiles on the floor, and on the walls, and all of that. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, maybe this was staged, because it's like, the carpet being there and whatnot, but then going to look at I was like, well, no, I was just on Expedia, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing a rug. And then I went and looked, I'm like, oh yeah, there was a rug. I didn't see a rug because I looked at the picture from the other way, because if you look at it from, I believe, if you look at it from this direction, yeah, you don't see a rug. See, there's no rug. It's like, where's the rug? Because it's the same room. The wicker chairs to the side, the black painting up there. Y'all know I pay attention to everything. I'm nosy. This is the same room. You see the chest in the middle, the painting, the two wicker chairs, the vase. It's the same room. It's just from a different angle. This is from the angle that this picture is from. So whoever took the photograph is standing right there. You see? And then the chest was just to the side. They moved it. And I'm assuming that was to do CPR. I'm assuming. So that I mean, if you pay attention, that's why I was confused, because I'm just like, well, no, because I didn't see no rug. I'm like, I don't know, that could have been staged now, because wait a minute, look. Do y'all see a rug? Because I didn't see one. So, but I'm nosy. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me keep on looking, because again, they do take pictures from different angles, and even sometimes on different days when they update certain things, they'll take pictures and won't update the other ones, and whatnot. So going, ooh, Did I pass it? Right here. So looking inside of this actual room from this view, a different angle, there is a rug. I was like, oh, okay. There is a rug on the floor. There is a rug on the floor. Couldn't see it because it's just in front of the couch instead of underneath. So it's an area rug, but not an area rug as big as I thought it was. Again, so that's not me making nothing up. That was just me. I just didn't see a rug. I was just like, well, I'm a little confused by that because where did the rug go? So again, I don't know. I wouldn't say that it was staged. I kind of feel like this photograph may be real. It may be a real photograph. It may be. The camera does add weight. It does, and then along with the swelling and whatnot from passing, So I don't know. Maybe that's why it just does not look like her body, but it very so much could be. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. It's staged. No, it's not. Somebody could have rented the villa. True. The villa is for rent now. Do people not understand her belly is probably bloated from the passing? True. I get a lot of people are. I don't know because. And we do got to consider the fact that she may have passed away, and that not may have. She basically passed away in the morning. So she had been sitting there for quite some time. I don't know. I don't know. That foot's so big. So you think that it's just too, I don't know. It's being washed. What's being washed? Secondly, there's no monitors, electrodes, no medical equipment. And why are they standing with all the equipment on their shoulders? Now, allegedly, from the video, I believe, it was stated that they had just arrived. So this is from the first responders arriving on scene, just getting there. So that's why allegedly none of the tools, medical equipment, I should say, that they would be using to revive her were not out because they were allegedly just showing up. So, but I don't know. That could be true. It could be true. It could be they were just getting there. Could be. I can't say no to that. That could be very so much true. Or, I don't know. What do y'all think? Because a lot of y'all think that it was staged because she had already passed. Yeah, agreed. Shanquella, that doctor never saw Shanquella alive or with stable vital signs. I feel like that is a complete lie, a complete and total lie. She was introduced to Shanquella deceased. Honestly, that's just how I feel. I think that she lied her tail off. She is a liar. And again, we know that this doctor is a liar. We know that because this is the doctor that freed the Cabo Six. This is her. Okay? Carolina Orlenas. Orlenas. I think that's how you say it. Orlenas. So again, this is her. Okay? She stated that in the police report that she was there for an hour or so before a seizure and so on and so forth. Due to the injury Shanquella got from the autopsy, Shanquella did not live 15 minutes after what happened to her. If she didn't suffer and just, if it was more so of an instantaneous thing, to where within minutes, the girl was gone. So again, she's a liar. There's no way what she stated, the doctor Carolina, the one that freed them, there's no way what she said was true if Shanquella's lifespan again was only 15 minutes long? She gave Shanquella hours, hours, because she had no idea that it was Atlas luxation. How could she know that just viewing her? Just that's internal. So that's not something that she would know. That's why I feel like I don't feel like she lied. She lied. Like there's no way charges should not be brought up on her. She flat out lied. Because she would still have to explain, okay, say you got there and she did have vital signs. Her vital signs were normal. Say that it's stable. I would say she was in stable condition when you got there. How do you explain her still living for an hour if she definitely passed 15 minutes after this injury? How are you giving her like 3 more hours of life? How are you doing that when she could only have lived for 15 minutes? There's no way she lived that long. There's no way. So again, that's why she is caught. She is super caught. That is why Mexico, because again, they got to explain that. The feds here are not just going to let that rock. Why did she state this in this police report? And remember, we wouldn't even have that police report if not for Geraldo. So Geraldo got that lady caught up. So he, the doctor, he exposed her by giving that police report to anybody that'll take it. Anybody that'll take it. Because she told blatant lies inside of that police report. Blatant. Shout out to Jacqueline Moore. She says, Sean, did the family verify this photo? No, they did not. And again, I don't see what they could verify about it because again, I feel like Shanquella was a girl that had a lot of clothes. What she wore just like day to day, I don't think she wore the same thing, you know, and I don't think she wore the same thing often. She gives me barely wore the same thing twice, you know, type of girl. She fashionista, how you call it, a fashionista? It's what you call them. That is definitely the tea that she was giving me. So her the black shirt and the pink like leggings or legging shorts, I don't see how the family could verify that because again, her body is swollen and whatnot, and they're not used to seeing her frame that way. So if this allegedly is her, how could they verify this photo? I really don't even see that because it's just like, well, how could they? How could they verify if that's her, not with her face not being in this photograph? They could verify face. I feel like they could do that, but all of us could verify the face too. So it's like this with this photo, I don't see how the family could verify if that is her or not. I really don't. I really don't. But shout out to Jacqueline for the super sticker. Shout out to Lindsay for the super sticker. She says, arrest Dr. Kevorkian and the federales that didn't conduct a full investigation by interviewing all witnesses. Sean, you deserve everything. I have given to you a Google hair flip. Thank you, Sadie. Yes, justice for Shanquella. Absolutely. I cannot agree more. Thank you again for the super sticker. But yeah, again, that doctor is guilty as sin. She is a liar. She lied in that police report to get them out of the country. She did that, and she needs to be held accountable for lying for the Cabo 6 to get them out. Because again, with the injury that took Shanquella's life, there is no possible way of the story that the doctor gave was accurate. It's a complete total lie. So even with the doctor stating that Shanquella had stable vital signs when she got there, complete lie. That's how we know for a fact Shanquella had passed in the morning. Shanquella passed in the morning. She had to have. From the video with the doctors, the professionals stating, looking at the injuries that was occurring within said video, to say that, oh yeah, that was it, you know, right there, you know, is one of the fatal blows, you know, that made it so that happened to her, the Atlas luxation. So yeah, like this doctor needs to go to jail. She needs to go to jail. She needs to be stripped of all medical rights, all of that. She told a bold-faced lie. All of that was lies. Shanquella was deceased when that doctor got there because the whole report is a lie. So her saying again that her, because she makes sure she says that I found a Black female unresponsive with stable vital signs. She makes sure she says that Shanquella was still alive. No different than Nazir, which let's get into that. Hold on, let me pull it. Well, let's get into Nazir. Let's get into what Nazir had to say. What is that? What Nazir had to say about what happened.
There's all time in the wall.
Shut up.
That's I got proof. Took us an hour.
Okay.
Like and subscribe.
I think
Took
this
us
is
an hour to get to the.
okay. Boom.
The villa because it was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. I instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came.
He could verify this photo. Because again, none of the Cabo 6 are in any of the photos. But he could verify because he said when he got there, he didn't leave her side. Then why aren't you in this photograph? Why aren't you here? So again, he said he didn't leave her side. So he could verify if that was her. He definitely could. Just saying, he could.
But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing.
Straight tile, nothing. So when I saw the photo, I was just like, well, I was confused because he kept saying that there was no like rugs or anything. There was no carpet, no hardwood floor or anything like that. Everything was made out of tile. So I was confused. I'm just like, because there is tile underneath the rug. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, Nazir said it was tile everywhere. But then again, I went and looked at the Airbnb photos that I just showed you. And there was an area rug inside of this living room. And because he keeps calling this the game room, because he's going to say that too. So I don't know if they call that room the game room because maybe there was a system in there, like maybe somebody brought like a PlayStation or something, and or I don't know. And there was like, because I don't know, because you would think a game room like has like a pool table, you know, or something like that that will qualify the room as like a game room. It was just like a common area, which, you know, is just like a living room, pretty much like a baby living room, or dining room. Well, no, because there was a dining room. You know, when I saw it's just, I'm just like, okay, well, what do you mean by game room? And we'll look over it again after he's done talking, because it's like, what do you mean? Like, there is no game room. So I'm assuming there was maybe like a system, like a game or something that was in there. So maybe that he remembers seeing a system or something. I don't know. They were playing a card game the night before. So maybe the card games are out. They have multiple games. I don't know. Weird, but let's keep moving.
Nothing else. So it was just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website.
Yeah, we can do it on the website, and we is nosy. Shout out to Minky Flinky. She says, where are the Red Cross emergency workers were called instead of the local, she says, why were the Red Cross emergency workers were called instead of the local paramedics? Is this protocol for foreign vacationers or an inside job with the dock and villa owners? Weird. I believe that that's just their emergency EMTs looking or dressed like, honestly, in my opinion, because Winter, these people allegedly arrived when the police was called, when Winter called 911, allegedly in this police report after Shanquella had a seizure, is when Winter, I guess, freaked out and called 911. And these are allegedly the first responders that showed. So I don't know. I don't know if that's just their attire there, because with any case where somebody's unresponsive, most people have a gurney because that kind of threw me off. Because I'm like, well, what's the gurney behind them? You know, like what? Because she's unresponsive. So either way it goes, you're gonna need a gurney, like no matter what, because you're going to have to transport said person. You know, so the person isn't responsive. So since they're not responsive, you automatically, you know, are going to need a gurney because you're going to have to lift them out of there. You know, they're not walking, talking, you know, any of that stuff. So that means we're going to have a lift situation. And they didn't have one. From what I see, there was no gurney. I'm like, well, would they just pick her up? And did like, how did they get her out of the home? I was confused by that. But in the photographs that he put up, these alleged photos. There was an ambulance vehicle, transporting vehicle, there, you know, an ambulance vehicle there. So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe the first responders are just dressed that way, the paramedic or whatever. Maybe that's just, you know, I don't know. But yeah. So thank you for the super stickers. Cousin needs to sing her heart out. Why? Oh, y'all, they ain't hitting the like. I'm gonna need y'all to hit the like. Hurry up! Oh, this is sad. This is sad. Let me look while Nazir keep talking.
Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this shit is and what it looked like. Well, you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good, so I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart. I hope that I was there the whole time.
He said next to the bed. He said next to the bed. She is not in no bed. She is on the floor in the living room. Listen.
Instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart. I hope that I was there the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking. So we made it to the living room. I cut on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling with.
Made it from the game room to the living room. You turned her on her side. What? So that means that she didn't move. Nazir, she was deceased. What don't you get about that? You turned her on her side. That means that she couldn't. You never say anything about her moaning, trying to talk, trying to speak, nothing. She was just unresponsive. So you lay her on her side because to you, since you saw something on her face that would make you think that there was some type of regurgitation, you lay her on her side, like how you do with a baby. You know, you lay a baby a certain way, you know, so if they do just so happen to have an accident, you know, regurgitate, they don't choke on you. You know, so you make sure they lay it on their side or, you know, things like that. Again, you don't lay them on their back, you know, an infant, you know, especially. So you moved her because she couldn't, is what it's given. She never spoke to you. And when you're saying that y'all moved from the game room to the living room, she didn't come with, apparently. Because again, you had to move her on her side. So that means that she wasn't moving. Absolutely not. She wasn't. So with her not moving, that means that she didn't get up and move into any other area because you didn't say she was right behind me. I mean, you just kept saying you didn't leave her side. So that means that she didn't move. That's what that means. She didn't move at all. The entire time you saw her, not only did she not speak a word, she didn't move. You moved her onto her side. You was rubbing and caressing on her, you know, and all of that. Like, you got to get with that She was deceased. She was no longer living. She had passed away. Well, while you were doing all of that. And I feel like you knew. I do, because you kept making it a point. Shanquella was not what, then how do you know that? Like, was she walking around? The maids found her. Again, the maids finding her means that she was still not alive. The maids didn't find her and they're regurgitating, or the maids didn't find her and they're crying or whimpering, or anything like that. They literally just found her. That's what you're saying. That's what the maids found her. Found her what? Like, found her walking, found her, none of that. The maids didn't find her alive. They found her unresponsive, just like you say she was unresponsive the whole time you were there. She was deceased. Honestly, I just think he's slow and just didn't notice it. I think the tools ain't too sharp.
Went until the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming and then a female showed up. So by that time, I skipped another thing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room.
Slumped over the toilet. What is alive about that? What is giving life about being slumped? Slump means not moving. That's what that is. Literally just slumped over the toilet is what that means. Not her dry heaving, or something like that in the bathroom and whatnot. The maids actually found her walking around somewhere aimlessly, or something like that. That's something that says she was alive. It's called, the maids found her walking, or the maids found her talking, the maids found her regurgitating, the maids found her like what that means that she's still alive. You got to be alive to do those things. But you're saying that the maids found her slumped over the toilet. That nothing about that says alive. That's easily just where she was placed. And you said that they told you that. So you don't know if that's necessarily true either. But I do think that it is. I do think that the maids did find her. I do. I 100% believe that happened. Absolutely. But let's keep listening.
That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there.
Slumped over the toilet in her room. You got to remember, the incident happened in Shanquella's room. So it will make sense for whatever happened to her after, rather she sees and whatnot and whatever. I feel like they panicked. They start putting clothes on her. And it's not a far move to move her to the toilet because the bathroom is in her room. So they just move her over to the bathroom and they left her in there. That's all that was. And it's easier to move her because she's right there in the room. It's not like she was in a bathroom down a hallway, or something like that. No, it was right. They found her allegedly in her room, the bathroom in her room. So that wasn't a far move of them moving her body. But her getting from her master suite bedroom all the way into the living room is another question. Because how did she get there? How did she get from the bathroom? Because the maids wouldn't alerted, allegedly, the friends, the Cabo Six. So they had to go in there and have moved her again. Because I don't feel like the maids would have done that. Why would it be the maid's responsibility to move her out of the bathroom? Like, they would just be like, oh, get your friend. I know I wouldn't do that if I was a maid. If I knew who they with or saw somebody to, hey, look, come get your girl, type of situation. But I'm not going to touch her or move her or anything. You don't want to startle them. You don't know what's going on. But allegedly, the maid was startled because Shanquella was hard to the touch. So Shanquella was allegedly hard to the touch, which again, I believe that was true, that Shanquella was hard to the touch. Why wouldn't you feel that about her when you see her? Like, what made you think she was alive? Like, there was nothing that she did that alive people do, people that are living, she did none of those things. You literally had to move her. So turning her onto her side or whatnot, you're not doing that because she can and she forgot. That's what you do. With you put a blanket over somebody that fell asleep and they arms like this, and they, you throw a blanket on. Oh, obviously you cold. Let me throw a blanket on you. That's being thoughtful. That's a thoughtful gesture. But to turn someone because you feel like they may, and the only indicator of that is that he allegedly saw something on the side of her face already. So in his mind, he's thinking like, "Oh, shorty throwing up. Let me move on her side." Is what is given is from his story. This is what he's saying, not me. So he turned on her side, and whatnot. So you felt her. You didn't feel anything significant that made you feel like, and then you caressing on her, playing music. Why? Gross. You thinking playing Summer Walker gonna bring her back to life? Because he explained nothing that she was doing to make him feel that she was alive. That's what's confusing about it. I mean, keep listening.
Yeah, boom. So it's like, okay, so when I get in there, I go in, I see Kula, I see she chilling, I put her on her side, I go out and make that video where I'm talking about
He heard him spit that. I see she chilling, I put her on her side. How is she chilling if you got to put her on her side? That doesn't make any sense. You saw her and something in you told you immediately that she needed some way, shape, or form, some type of help. And it's weird that all the other people in the house and they weren't giving it to her. Shout out to Tomoko. She said her dad said she was wearing pajamas. That is alleged, right? Allegedly, because he may have said that. But again, with the process of her body being shipped to him, autopsies, all of that, her clothes could have changed. She could have had that on prior. Again, that's only the Cabo 6 can verify that. Only the people that were there. And the doctor Cabo 7, only they can let us know like what she had on. Because her body was shipped from Mexico to the father. So again, it's traveling through multiple people before he even sees her. So yeah. Laugh, gas, and gossip. Charlotte, so she says his scenario is sick if she was bruised, unresponsive, and he's playing romantic music, not gospel. He is crazy. No, I agree. Why play music at all? I mean, if you feel like this person, you have to turn her onto her side because she is not able to do these things on her own. What does that say about the state you found her in? It states that you felt like she needed help immediately. Type of situation is how I feel. I feel that he knew right away that it was something wrong with her, like bad. Something wrong with you. Shout out to Kay Bragg. She says he probably turned her out of guilt. He couldn't stand to look at her, so he turned her away from him. That too. That absolutely turn her the other way because it's just like, they couldn't have been because those people were not calm. They were not calm. I think that they calmed down, but I don't think that they were calm. Nazir knew way more than what he's leading on. He had to have, because again, they just letting you sit in there. I do believe they set him up for the okie doke. Nazir to me is again, slow bus is what is given. Short little bus is what is given. He's not the brightest, and I think that they set him up. He's giving Waldo from Family Matters. Just nice guy, but that's what he's giving. He's giving Nazir Waldo Wiggins. Is what he's giving. And I think that they set him up for the okie doke. Shout out to Lotus for the super sticker. Thank you. I think that they set him up for the okie doke. I do. Right. Why are you touching it? Absolutely. I do think that they set him up. I do think that they only told him certain information when he got there out of fear of him knowing everything. I do think he found out more information as the day progressed. I think Nazir found out more. But again, When that doctor got there, she knew that Shanquella had passed away. She did. I think she struck up a deal with those kids because again, her story makes no sense. No sense at all. There is no way you suffer from atlas luxation and you live that long. Again, the doctor gave Shanquella hours, and the autopsy gave her 15 minutes. That means you lying. There's no way around it. You lied to get them out of here. You came up because again, I don't think that she thought her cause of death had anything to do with an injury like that. Because I mean, why would you? Who would think of that? Atlas luxation, a spinal injury so severe that you are eternally decapitated internally. Like who would think, of something that severe? And with them saying alcohol, 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 people tell partial truths, when they are lying still. So I think that she thought that they may have spiked the girl drink or something and gave her too much of something and she ended up passing away. I think she thought it was something like that. Because again, she wouldn't be in any trouble for it. She wouldn't be in any trouble for it. As long as the alcohol test came back that she had been drinking, that she had consumed a decent amount of alcohol, and whatnot. And if anything else was traced or found or whatnot, the doctor is not responsible for it. They are. She wasn't with them. She came to aid someone that had drank a lot of alcohol, that allegedly had alcohol poisoning. That is who she came and aided. She did her thing and she got on up out of there, type of situation. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. The girl passed away from a spinal cord injury that she couldn't have lived more than 15 minutes after suffering. How do you get, she was stable for hours? Because that means that the injury would have had to have occurred while the doctor was there. That isn't true. It could not have happened while she was there. It happened in the morning. She didn't come until the afternoon. Evening almost, and leading to the evening is when the doctor got there between 3:18 and 3:30, or something like that. 3:18 and 3:28 or something. I don't know. But yeah, after she was called around 2:30. So it took her a while to get there, about an hour or so, to get there. So again, within that hour, even if it happened while you are on your way there, within that hour, she was still deceased because she only lasted 15 minutes. She could have been alive no longer than that. No one's body can handle that type of injury, and not be hooked up to a ventilator immediately. And it's not even for sure thing that a ventilator would have saved Shanquella. So again, and you only have 15 minutes to get her to the hospital to get her connected to a ventilator. If that was going to happen, 15 minutes, that's all you had. If you didn't get in there 15 minutes, it's a wrap. So again, she passed in the morning. When that doctor got there, she knew that she was gone. I think they lied to Nazir and told Nazir that she was in there with alcohol poisoning. She wasn't feeling good. Nazir went in there and realized that it wasn't alcohol poisoning. I'm not even gonna say realized it was alcohol poisoning. He realized that it was something other. Like, she ain't alive. Like, from what I'm gathering, it's like, oh, bro, she even alive anymore? I think that there was a conversation had. Because no, it just don't make any sense. Shout out to Brashanti for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sweetie. Yeah, that doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. So did Answer take the picture? Who? I don't know who took the picture. I don't think it's, honestly, I think it's a video. I don't think it's a picture. I think that's a steal from a video. But I don't know. I have no idea. So did Nazir take the picture? I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt any of them did. I think because that room it's not like a huge room. Going into the kitchen, whatnot, because area gets bigger, like once you go into that area. So they could have been sitting at the kitchen table, or I don't know. I don't know. But let's keep listening.
Here, that Aquila get up. I'm thinking like, damn, we got stuff to do. ATVs, a boat, dinner. I missed the chefs. I missed everything. Anyways, fuck that. So I'm like, damn, I'm thinking, Aquila, let's get up. I say that in the video. Everybody can hear it. Everybody know. Everybody that know me heard me say the shit. That was my first video when I got there, or second, because I made a video of me pulling up to the villa, but he was cutting up the guy. I tried to get the timestamp for y'all, but that's not gonna work. So I guess the real FBI, whatever, had to put those right timelines together. But I'm gonna start with the NCB. That faggot is so stupid.
Now, with him saying, because everybody want clout, so let's give it to him. With him saying everybody is clout chasing, because you got people out here, everybody clout chasing, whatever. So he says this insult about the NC beat, Gerald. He says this about him because he spoke to Gerald. They had a conversation and Gerald recorded the conversation. It's always the people that swear that they're doing this in the name of justice that's always asking the wrong questions. You're so worried about chasing clout within this moment that you're not even getting a clarifying answer, since you're going to jump into an investigation like you're a police officer, which you aren't. Because if you were, you would have asked the right questions. When you're on the phone with Nazir, Gerald, before he called you an F word, and all of that stuff, before you guys could have had a cordialness between each other, but you went on the attack for clout, you would have had the exclusive yourself to verify if this picture was real or not, because Nazir did see Shanquella that day, and Nazir can verify if this is what she had on, and if her body was in set condition when he arrived. So you could have asked him those things. You definitely could have. But because Geraldo definitely doesn't have the answer to those things, because he ain't spoke to Nazir, but you did. And the viral video was already out during the conversation. So again, you could have easily, because as far as we knew, Shanquella was nude during the altercation that happened that morning. So, you definitely dropped the ball there, if you ask me. If you're going to talk to the op, at least ask the op the right questions. That's how, what condition was she in? What was she wearing? Did she talk? Did she move? Those would have been my type of questions, not just on the attack. Because that conversation, they got nowhere. Talking about a flight that doesn't matter. None of that matters. I feel that the energy was so bad to making Nazir look like a liar that he was actually present when all of that happened, instead of asking questions that the audience wants the answers to, because those would have been very valid questions. Did she speak? What state was she in? What was she wearing? Because remember, the video was viral before the conversation. That's what made people want to talk to Nazir in the first place. It's because the video was viral. The altercation between Deja and Shanquella. So, valid question. Everyone was wondering if, when Nazir got there, if she was nude. Because in the video, she was. So, everyone wanted to know that. Like, okay, was she nude when you got there? Or did she have on clothes? Because he never stated anything, this video here, about her being nude. He never said anything like that. He said she was sitting in the game room. Why would she be laying in the game room, chilling in the game room? Why would she be in there nude? And that would have been bizarre, right? Why Quella just laying here naked? Clearly she had on clothes. That's a sort stands out like a sore thumb. If she was in the buff. Clearly she wasn't. So again, that would have been a valid question asked while attacking him. You didn't get anywhere, if you ask me. You wasted a great exclusive, because Bernard Robinson was not there. He has no idea what his daughter was wearing during, and after allegedly. Quilla, the sister, she has no idea. Salamandra, no idea. None of them were present, but he was. Nazir was there. So people could correlate it back and give you the clout that y'all swear that y'all don't want, and give you the clout by you simply asking Nazir that question and been like, oh, well, no, we can go back to the NCB because he had talked to Nazir and he asked Nazir what she was wearing. That's not the energy that was going on. Journalism 101, even if you're going to talk to the op, find a middle ground. There's no point of arguing with them. At least get your tea before you do so. I mean, I would have got my tea. I would have asked the questions that mattered. Like, because my number one question would have been, did she talk? And then my second question would have been, what was she wearing? Because again, everyone thought she was nude. So you have a person that was there. The person he's live talking about, I was the last person with her. I didn't separate from her. He got all the tea. He got all of it. So if anybody dropped the ball in this situation, because Nazir could definitely let us know if this picture is real or fake. He could definitely let us know. He sure could. Absolutely. But we worried about flights, and all of that. Nothing that pertains to Shanquella. Because everyone wants to say shout out to Penelope for becoming a member. Shout out to you, sweetie. But everybody wants to, oh, this is about Shanquella. This is about Shanquella. Is it? Okay. Because I would have questions about Shanquella. I don't give no damn about his ticket. And when he got there, he ain't in the video putting his hands on her. We got the culprit. He ain't in his video doing that. But there is certain things that would be nice to know, especially the family, to be nice to know. It's like, I don't know. I just found that weird. I mean, if you're going to talk to the op, at least, if you're going to be talking to the op and the family of the victim, at least do it right. If you're going to clout chase, do it correctly. Moving right along. Let's keep listening to what Nazir had to say.
And got y'all believing everything that's wrong. I was not there till the next day. I didn't see a fight. I didn't know it was a fight. I didn't know it was a video. I didn't know they did any harm, anything.
Nazir saying all of that because the NC Beat tried to make it seem like he was definitely there. He lied about his ticket and the time frame, whatnot. He said lie about all that. So since he said he lied about all of that, he felt like he had to come forward, and state his case. And be like the NC Beat, then called him the F word and said, you're a liar. Like I wasn't there. I changed my flight. My flight got changed when I missed my flight. Blah, blah, blah. So he felt like, again, because he had talked to him. And you have a conversation with the op. That the least you could have did was got some tea. Because his flight is not tea. That's something you can look up. I'm like, that's not tea. Ugh. What was he wearing? That's tea. Absolutely.
I went in there and told her it was alcohol poisoning, so that's what I helped her as. I didn't leave her side. I cut on soft music. Summer Walker rubbing her head till the nurse came in. Nobody even talked about the nurse. Nobody even said a nurse came. None of this stuff. So I'm really not understanding where this story is coming from and why it's out here like this, because it's wrong. It's wrong. And for y'all to be attacking me, an innocent soul, I'm really innocent as fuck. I went there to enjoy my birthday. And to really just goddamn have fun. I didn't have not 1 second of fun. Didn't take one shot, and smoke one blunt, didn't do anything. I went straight to Quilla. She was not found dead. She was found unresponsive. Yes, unresponsive.
What is your definition of dead? Are deceased people responsive? You're weird and slow. Because no one that is deceased is responsive. Why are you feeling like because somebody told you that she was still alive, that she was still alive? Like she wasn't. It's like he forcing her to have been alive. You're lying. Like the girl was gone. Stop it. Like, ugh. Ugh. She was gone. And you thought I didn't get to do this, I didn't get to do that. And for you not to have gotten to do any of those things, that lets us know for a fact you knew what was up. Because if you got there and you ain't leave her side, you didn't get to smoke, you didn't get to drink, you didn't get to do none of that stuff. That means that it was hectic. It was a lot going on. There was a lot of energy going on. So you didn't even get a chance to do nothing because everybody's so serious and, and all of this. It was crazy. Like, stop trying to make it seem like you got there and everybody's just like, oh, so we're about to cook dinner. Quella's in there. Yeah. Daiquiris on the back. Yeah, you have on at it. And everybody's just so normal. No, the energy was completely off. It absolutely was. And everybody was moving in groups and staying away from Shanquella. You're the only person around her. That does not speak to you. That does not speak to you. You had to turn Quella on her side, all of that stuff. Nobody else wanted to touch her. Nobody else wanted to be around her. While you sitting there rubbing your DNA and Summer Walker all over her. And you just dumb. Just an idiot. Talking about, she was not dead. She was found unresponsive. She was found how most dead people are, unresponsive. But she was not dead. She was not. No. She was just unresponsive. She was just not breathing. That's it though. Her heart stopped only. That was it. She had complete organ failure. All her organs, everything shut down, but she was not dead. She was just unresponsive. I'm like, no, what? Like, I'm gonna need her to have to been doing something that alive people do if you're gonna state that it was just unresponsive. You're an idiot. It's what it's giving. And you don't realize when someone is deceased. Because you're literally sitting there, Uncle Bernie and this girl. Like, all you need to do is put on some sunglasses and just sit her up. Because that's how they did. They propped that girl up in there as if she was alive. They propped her in there on that couch like she was just asleep. And what gave it away is that when she sees, she must have had some type of, discharge from her face. And that gave it away with Nazir. He saw it on the side of her face. Turns her on her side, like he said in the video. Turned her on her side. But nobody else is in the living room with you or the game room with you. And they're basically saying, because he said that they said that it's talking about eating something, talking about cooking or whatnot, and food. And that just sounds because they just didn't want to be in there with her, because they already knew what was up. And with him saying, I didn't leave her side, I stayed right by her. Of course you did, because didn't nobody else want to be near her because they already knew what was up. Like, and they figured that you kind of just would, but you just so Waldo that it's just like you in there playing the music, you in there, get up, Quella. You in there just weird. In there just weird, Lord. Ooh, he's just in there weird. Talking about some get up. Ain't she unresponsive? You expecting a response? Like you knew what was up. Like you tried it.
She was unresponsive. I tried to get her to talk to me and all that, but it was none of that.
I tried to get her to talk to me. Not she tried talking, but I couldn't understand nothing she was saying. She was trying, none of that. That's something that somebody alive would be doing and still be considered unresponsive. Meaning that, it's just a lot of gibberish coming out. They still breathing, because they're able to talk and, and all that stuff. They're moving around, and whatnot, but I don't know what's going on, with their body and whatnot. It doesn't seem as if they're in control of it right now. Like we need some help, type of situation. That's not what it's given. He said he tried to talk to her, wake her, to no of it. None of that worked. Nothing. That it was none of that. Like a deceased person, because that's what a deceased person is going to do. Unresponsive people still respond in certain ways, and not to you, just in general. Meaning they may not be able to control their ligaments or the controlling of their eyes, if there's maybe seizing, because there's different types of seizures, but they're just unresponsive right now. Like, again, like they're awake, they're moving around and stuff like that. Their eyes kind of keep rolling to the back of their head, stuff like that. Because I've seen seizures like that. Not all seizures is convulsions falling to the ground. My brother used to have seizures, and he would just kind of just sit there and just stare. He wouldn't blink, nothing. And we would try to get him to talk to us, and I would be right in front of him. I remember as a kid, this one time I started crying because he was like, he wouldn't. I'm like, he won't talk. I'm like, he won't do it. I was scared. I was like 13. I was really afraid. I was just like, oh my God, my brother, like, talk to me. I'm so sorry. I yell at you, like, oh, I'm so sorry. Just talk. But he was awake. You could tell that he was breathing. He'd be sitting straight up, like sitting in a chair or sitting up on the bed and watching TV, and he would just seize. But he's still alive. He's just unresponsive, during his seizure. So again, when he's saying unresponsive, that's why I'm thinking, since he keeps saying that she wasn't dead, right? A focal seizure, yes, or an absent seizure, yes. I used to be, my mom especially, my mom used to be so scared. But we will all be, but he stopped having them. But it was just something like kind of like during his adolescence, because it was scary, because we would never know, when it was happening, until we would try to get his attention. So that one, because like after he would have one, I would just literally sit there and just watch him and just stare at him. I'd be like, "Are you okay?" So he got sick of us, because we just all sitting in the room just staring at him. Because we were afraid, like we did, because it just came whenever they would just happen, and whatnot. So we were afraid, and he was unresponsive. He would not respond. It didn't matter what we did. We could blink, clap in front of his face, yell. He would not, nothing. He would just sit there, and I would just be so scared. So that's what I was thinking. Like maybe it was just something like that due to her injury, whatnot. Maybe she just wasn't present, but having a really bad seizure, and just wasn't present, and he didn't know, or he didn't realize what was happening to her. But no, this girl was literally not moving, eyes not open, not talking, nothing, just sitting there, unresponsive. That is the worst unresponsive in the world. When a person is basically like coma unresponsive, you need to get the medical attention immediately. Alcohol poisoning does not, it's like, even if she did have alcohol poisoning, it's like, you would have been okay, Nazir, with her being in like a coma in front of you. Because passing out just means sleep. You can wake a person up out of a deep sleep. They can be woken from it. You can wake them up. You can. If they're in a deep sleep, if someone is in a coma, you cannot wake them. That's unresponsive, the way that Shanquella was unresponsive, like coma unresponsive, meaning still breathing, heart still beating, but completely unresponsive. No, nothing. We don't even know if they're having brain waves anymore, type of situation. But we know they're breathing. We know there's oxygen going through the body. That's it. But other than that, there is no response. Again, somebody passing out drunk and all of that, you can still wake them. And when you do wake them up, it's usually they fighting you. They're usually angry, because you're waking them up, because all they want to do is sleep. Now that's okay. I'll just let you sleep. It's like, okay, you're fine. That's all that matters to me, as long as you're okay. But for her to be unresponsive to where she is literally not speaking, moving, nothing, and that's just cool. Again, you knew something was wrong. You laying her on her side is an indicator of it. That goes without saying. You laying her on her side, you did it because you didn't feel that she could do it herself. Because she's unresponsive or deceased. I don't know. But okay.
There was none of that going on. Oh shit. Yeah, but other than that, I did. Oh yeah, I know y'all probably asking that. When I walked in there, I didn't really notice the knot on her head until the nurse pointed it out. I did see.
So he said he didn't notice her being injured until the nurse pointed it out. Until the nurse pointed it out. Until she noticed the abrasions and the knot on Shanquella's head. That was not in the police report. None of Shanquella's injuries to her face are in the police report. None of them. Nazir stating that not only did he notice, but he noticed because Dr. Carolina pointed them out. She pointed out the knot on Shanquella's head and pointed out the abrasion to Shanquella's lip. She noticed her eye. She noticed all of those things. None of that is in the police report. And I'm not supposed to believe that this doctor completely lied to get them out of the country, because she's the reason they got out. She completely gave them a get out of jail free card. So yeah, he states, I know, because I know y'all saying, because even Shanquella's father Bernard stated the injuries to Shanquella's face when he finally got her body. So why wasn't that mentioned in the police report? Why didn't this doctor, since she swears she's telling the truth, nothing to hide, why didn't she just simply say that, yeah, there was some abrasions to her face and whatnot, but they said that it was because of the injuries occurred while she was intoxicated? She didn't say anything like that. She didn't say anything about any injuries to Shanquella's face at all. Never a word. I find that very suspicious, because that is true. Nazir is not lying. The proof is with Shanquella's father. Bernard stated the same injuries to her face, the cut lip, all of that. Her eye being swollen, the knot on her head. He stated he saw all of those things. So he's not lying, Nazir. He is telling the truth. That's why every liar tells the truth. He is telling the truth about that. But again, even with him, you notice that her face is messed up, and you ain't got no questions for nobody. You're lying. Because if you care so much about Shanquella, because he said they all left, they went into the kitchen or whatever because they was talking about food. If you cared about Shanquella, like you say you did, playing music for her, staying by her, doing what you do when somebody's going through alcohol poisoning, if you're doing all of these things, why wouldn't you question her face? Like, why wouldn't you? Y'all pull up on y'all friend of 9 years at a vacation villa, and you get there and they saying that she's asleep. You go on there and you see that her face is swollen, knot on her head, cut on her lip. Y'all not asking no questions? You saw those things and you said something. You said, what happens to Shorty face? Like, did she get into it with somebody? Like, what happened? The only reason that you wouldn't ask any questions about her face in his ear if you already knew that she got into a fight. That would be the only reason. But if you didn't ask about her face injuries at all whatsoever, it's because you already knew why her face looked like that. So why would you ask the obvious? Why would you ask something you already know? I mean, that because I mean he pretty slow, but I mean still, why go a hunting for an answer you already have? I'm just saying, but let's keep listening.
See the bump on her lip. She did have a blood vessel bust in her eye, and that's it. But I didn't really go in there like, damn, y'all jumped her, y'all beat her ass. What's going on? Like, cause they know, man. And nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to everything. I'm literally.
No. Absolutely not. I don't believe that Nazir is innocent, and I don't believe that he just doesn't want to be called a snitch, because isn't this snitching? Isn't this snitching him going live talking about it right here? Because you best believe during this live, people from the Cabo 6 was calling him. Absolutely. People from the Cabo 6, I believe Khalil was calling Nazir during this live. Somebody was. If you pay attention at the beginning of this live, when the live keep getting interrupted, because he's getting phone calls. Who you think calling him? Who you think don't want him to talk? Now, I mean, if you ask me, it'll be somebody that's involved. That'll be like, yeah, shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Somebody from the Cabo 6 was calling him. Because why would anybody else care? We weren't involved. They were. So to be somebody involved calling him like, shut your mouth. Don't put too much on it, because they're gonna use this against you. Type of situation. And that's exactly what happened. There's no way of Nazir being innocent when this plan was corroborated. There was no reason for that doctor to be performing CPR on Shanquella, knowing that she was deceased when she got there. There would be no way. That is a complete lie. She made it up. And how we know she made it up is because Shanquella did not pass away from alcohol poisoning. So there was no reason for her to treat her for something when she is deceased, like she is no longer alive. And her injury that occurred, she only lived 15 minutes after it. There is no way when Nazir got there, Shanquella was alive. That's why he does not display anything of her being alive, because she was gone. So a plan was made, because that's how they got out of the country. Nazir was a part of that conversation. They all were. Everybody was involved in that conversation. I believe that doctor took an opportunity. And I believe it wasn't the first time that they may have covered certain things up for certain people for a certain price, type of situation. Because where the doctor effed up at is that Shanquella passed away from atlas luxation, meaning she only had 15 minutes of living after that. This doctor gave her hours. So when they sit down and talk to this doctor and be like, hey, this is your statement about what happened to her. You said that it was alcohol poisoning that you were coming to treat her. You brought an IV and the IV did not work. Why would it on someone that's deceased? It's not going to, you have to be alive in order to take an IV. So that means that upon her getting there, she knew that Shanquella was deceased. There's no other way around it. There's no other way around it because of how Shanquella died. The cause of death was not a slow one. The cause of death was very quick. So the only thing that would explain this doctor's story, if she would have known it was atlas luxation, she would have said immediately that Shanquella was deceased when she got there. That she came there, she found a Black deceased woman. Female Black woman deceased is what she should have said. But she took an opportunity, is how I feel. I absolutely do. Because she didn't know what happened to Shanquella. She had no idea of the injury. Because if she did, she would not have said, that wouldn't have been her statement. Because she put her own foot in her mouth with her statement. She effed up like bad. She needs to go to jail. She is a blatant liar. And a plan was made. All 6 people were a part of that plan. All 6 people. Nobody left early. Nobody was gone already when no. Nazir was innocent to the fact of, I feel, maybe Nazir, I just throw it out there. It's very possible Nazir didn't know about that fight. It's very possible he didn't know that Shanquella was deceased before he got there. Very possible that he walked in there blind and they did not tell him any of that, because you have to remember the de-escalation of the situation, or I should say not even, the escalation of the situation started once Nazir got there. Then things started to move pretty quickly, because he still had to have arrived around between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, because the doctor made it there between 3:18 and 3:38, and he was there before the doctor got there. So right within that time frame. Either way, Shanquella was deceased before both parties got there. Before Nazir got there, Shanquella was already gone, and before the doctor got there, Shanquella was already gone. Nazir walked into that villa with Shanquella being deceased, and that doctor walked in that villa with Shanquella being deceased. End of story. That she was gone when they got there. And the injury from the autopsy states so, because she only lived 15 minutes. So there's no way Nazir acting like he walking around the room and Shanquella's alive and he's playing music for her and he's rubbing her head. No, you moved her on her side. She couldn't do it on her own, meaning that he displays no energy of Shanquella being alive. Nothing that he states will make you think like she was definitely alive. The only thing that signals that is that he states that he was told that the maids found her slumped over the toilet, meaning she was not deceased. How not? She was, no, you didn't say that the maids found her alive over the toilet, meaning she was dry heaving or she was regurgitating within that time. She was mumbling words or talking out loud. She was looking for something. She was asking a question. No, that's not what was being said. It's just they simply found her. And that's what he said. The maids found her. Meaning, again, she was unresponsive. Not they bumped into her. No, they found her. Oh, again, deceased. That's not giving she was alive, because why? Because the maids didn't come out and say, "Oh my God, she dead." Oh my God, she dead, because they didn't come out and say that. That don't mean that she wasn't. It doesn't mean that. So again, he put his own foot in his mouth, and so is this doctor. This doctor needs to be arrested. She needs to go down with the Cabo Six. She assisted in helping murderers flee Mexico.
In there, giving her my all. Like, come on, girl, we is 2,000 miles away from home. 2,000 miles away from home. Don't nobody deserve this. Don't 50 more questions. So y'all beat her ass was going on. Like, could they know, man? And nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to everything. I'm literally in there giving her my all.
So he said he's literally in there giving her all, his all, whatever that means. Whatever that means. And with him in there giving her his all, meaning that he was doing, from what I'm gathering, is that he was doing everything he could to get her awake, to get her to wake up, to get her to move, to get her to talk, to get her to do anything, and she wouldn't. To no avail. Those things that he did worked. They didn't. She was still unresponsive. So that's what I'm saying, what we were saying earlier. So you were okay with your friend of 9 years being in a coma state? Being in a state to where she is unconscious and unresponsive? You're okay with that? It's just, oh, she drank too much? If you're doing everything in your power to wake her up, we are all human. So drunk is drunk. And if you're that intoxicated, I get it. People pass out, black out all the time. Normal. Happens, right? Everyone can be woken up. Even if it's a groggy wake up. Like, oh, don't touch me. Oh, leave me alone. You know, even if it's one of those, it's still like, oh, okay, at least I know you're fine. You know? But for someone to be that intoxicated, allegedly, and you can't wake them up, being unconscious is not it has nothing to do with alcohol abuse. It that literally is not a symptom of having alcohol abuse or alcohol poisoning. Like that's not a symptom. A symptom of, you know, a person has alcohol poisoning because they won't wake up at all. They're unresponsive. What? And that is a diagnosis. So that means a doctor would have to state that. That's why with Carolina, she should have known something was up anyways, because how are y'all telling me that she got alcohol poisoning? Like y'all wouldn't know that. There is no alcohol poisoning at home test, at home kit, you know, anything like that. Like, you're weird. There's no rapid alcohol poisoning test. It's like, how do you know that? You can't just assume it. Even if a person has to drink a lot, that it doesn't mean that they have alcohol poisoning. If something happens, no, maybe they didn't eat anything. You know, that not in there dry heaving. It doesn't. Would have alcohol poisoning because he's dry heaving, or he didn't eat anything, so there's nothing to come out. Like the liquid that was in him, he had already got rid of all of that. You know, so he probably dry heaving because there's nothing else in the stomach. You know, that doesn't mean that he has alcohol poisoning. Like, that doesn't mean that. So again, with Salamandra, her mom, when Khalil called Salamandra and told Salamandra that it was alcohol poisoning, I understand her questioning it. Like, well, if the doctor haven't got there yet, how do you know that it's alcohol poisoning? Y'all don't get to just diagnose her. But they had to blame it on something. You know, they needed something, and that's what they were clinging on to. Was that we need something to get up out of here. Survival mode, and that was the lie that they ran with, and they kept that lie going. So he knew she was dead when he touched their body. I don't care if you are slow, their flesh. I agree. The stiffness of the body, the temperature of the body, the cold to touch, and we're all warm. If I'm sometimes, because I feel like I'm a pretty warm person, but living in a state where it snows a lot and when it gets really cold, when your body's cold from when you come in, you can feel it to touch, literally, like to touch, So if a person isn't warm when you touch, because that's what makes a person warm, is that the blood is flowing through the body. The blood, it's, when you touch someone, when you die, the blood stops flowing. Like, it's, so that's why you can't get IV in, stuff like, you need the body to be alive, veins and whatnot. You need to be alive, for that type of stuff to work. So there's no way he didn't know. And he touched her. He literally moved her. Now, I can see you being naive the first time, just being like, "Oh, girl," but then touching her again, like you rubbing her, playing her music, all of that. It's like, and you have no idea. You want me to believe you that slow that you had no idea that this girl was gone? Yes, you did. Like, you did. Like, I think it's stupid. I mean, I'm not gonna say stupid. A little piece of slow. But at the same time, if you know the word unresponsive and you swear you know what it means, then you should know the word corpse. You should know the word deceased. The words passed away. You should know those too, in the definition of them. Now, I understand you not knowing what rigor mortis and all of that. Okay, cool. Not everybody know about that. But at the same time, you knew that girl was gone. You knew it was gone. So again, he made this video after the attack video, correct. After the video, the viral video, that one, because that's why, their names and stuff, was coming out besides the autopsy. The autopsy and the video, the viral video, is what made them a point of interest, because they weren't a point of interest before the autopsy and the videos. The videos were really, really, because that was a viral. That's what you call viral. That video of Shanquella, viral. Billions of views. That video got on all the outlets that it was played. Billions of views. So yeah, there was one video like when it was first put out, like I think it was like the second day. There was a person that posted the reel of it on Twitter, and they had like 84 million views, and it was like up for like 12 hours, not even a whole full 24 hours. And it had already had like 84 million views. So I was just like, damn. So now that is viral. So yeah, this is when he comes out with this afterwards, feeling like he needs to explain himself. And you know it's after the video as well, because he says, I didn't know anything about a fight. Because the spinal cord injury with the autopsy, it still didn't explain what happened. The video explained the autopsy. That's what really put a target on the Cabo Six's back, is that video. It really did. Because even finding out that it wasn't alcohol poisoning, people were still, you know, kind of wondering, like, oh, well, what was it? You know, then they said alcoholization and that it was like violent. Oh yeah, that's when, and then that video, it was over after that. So, but yeah, he even kind of responds to it.
Come on, girl, we're 2,000 miles away from home. 2,000 miles away from home. Don't nobody deserve this. Don't 51 questions. Bro, why is y'all talking about, boy, did y'all kill y'all friend? I wasn't there. I don't have those answers for you from Friday to 3 o'clock when I got to Cabo. I just don't have them answers. I posted my flight itinerary. When I got there, I can't make that up. I can't. I really don't know what else to do but show y'all fucking the real tickets if I could even find them when I landed and didn't land. But I could post the video. I could show the video. It's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m.
So with Nazir getting there at 3-something p.m., everything escalated right after that. Because remember, when he got there, he states that they told him that a nurse or doctor or nurse was coming, but he was told that it was a male, and a female ended up showing up. So he only had about a good 30 to 40 minutes alone with Shanquella, if he's stating that he got there around 3, and the doctor made it there around 3:38 p.m. So, and again, when he did state when he got there, they had told him that somebody was coming already, health-wise, to check on Shanquella. So again, so with him saying I didn't get a chance to do nothing, like that would be true, because again, everything started to go up, you know, once he got there, because Winterman had already phoned or had the housekeeping or maid service phone for a doctor or a nurse to come and do in-house a check-in, a house call for Shanquella. So that seems to add up with the police report, what he's saying.
I made my first video at 4:26. That's me outside by the pool. Saying, Quilla, get up, let's go. We got stuff to do. Let's go have fun. There was no fun in that. There was no fun in that. There was nothing good coming from that, man. I went in there with my bag, put it down, went to the game room, went to the living room, stayed there. Worst time of my life. And now y'all on here trying to say I killed her. Me, the nigga that got there a day late. The nigga y'all didn't see in the video. I have 1,030,000 tattoos. Do I sound like I was in that video? Go listen to it again. Do you hear my voice in that video? Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is really stupid. The bitches is stupid. The old ladies, all of y'all are stupid. I don't care who's after me because I have all my timestamps. I've been real close and cordial with everybody who really means something. So everybody else, this was just to give y'all some comfort. Because I'm not doing it no more. I'm not responding to nothing else. And all the death threats, I can go with y'all move. Everybody. I turn me to a pack. All that shit y'all was talking, y'all just talking out your ass out of.
Why you so mad? You so innocent. You didn't do nothing. Shut up. Like, who? Why you so mad? Why you ain't go to the funeral? Why you ain't go inside the funeral? Why you ain't talk to Salamandra? Why you ain't talk to Shanquella? Why you ain't talk to Bernard? Why you so mad? You so innocent though. Like, you mighty pressed to be innocent.
I heard because I listened to social media. Social media. Of course, my story is going to be different because I got there a day late. I can only tell you what I know from 3:30 till Sunday when I left. That's all I can do. I really can't give nobody no other answer from Friday because they didn't tell me. I didn't go in there, sit down and make no alibi with nobody. I didn't know nothing. They didn't tell me nothing.
I didn't go in there and sit down and make up no alibi with nobody. You are lying. Why would he even say alibi out of his mouth? Because he knows that this doctor lied. He knows that she created them an alibi to get out of Mexico. She created this. She is the reason that they got out of Mexico. If not for her, they would not have gotten out of Mexico because they would have had to explain what happened to her and why she was deceased. They would have had to have. Because it's nothing for them to run an alcohol test on Shanquella real quick while she was sitting there to figure out how inebriated she was. And you can do that with blood. So, I mean, they could have easily done that and made them wait and held them in Mexico. Because that wouldn't have flew. It wouldn't have been just y'all doctors sitting over here trying to diagnose this girl. How do we know that it was alcohol poisoning? Her. She was the alibi. She even said it herself that she came to treat Shanquella for alcohol poisoning. Even brought an IV with medicine, a medicated IV bag to give to Shanquella. Okay? She needs to go to jail. And he stated out his own mouth. I didn't sit in there to make no alibi. Why even say that? Why even say that? Because you know that that's something going around because you know that that happened. A guilty conscience will speak. You may not have said anything during that alibi, but you knew it because all of y'all went with the same story. All of y'all. There was a conversation had for all 6 of you to leave Cabo talking about she passed away from alcohol poisoning. So you were a part of a conversation. You were. Because how do you have the same story as them? How? You knew Shanquella had bruises and things and whatnot on her face, that her lip was split. She had a knot on her head. You knew all of that when you left on Sunday with everybody else. You knew all of that. You ignored the family completely because you knew what happened. Like, stop. Like, gross. Like, ugh. Now, you may not know in exact context of what happened, but you knew it wasn't alcohol poisoning. You knew something sinister happened. Something that they were covering up. Now, they may not have told you the details. Everything was moving quickly. So you may not have known everything, but you knew enough to know that that girl did not pass away from alcohol poisoning, that somebody did something to her. That somebody did something to her. And you were alone with her, and those people, the other Cabo 5, was scared to be around her because they knew that that girl was deceased. So who knows what you were doing in there. Remember, you do have quite the reputation. Nazir, Justice for Rihanna, the girl that came forward and said that you coerced her and R-worded her in high school. Okay? You do have a reputation of taking it. You do have a reputation of not asking, demanding, coercing. You have a reputation, sir. Huh. When a reputation doesn't precede you. You have that reputation. She said it publicly that multiple times, and she has not went back on her word. She said you did that to her. So you are known for taking stuff that don't belong to you. Mm-hmm. You known for taking a pocketbook and running down the street with it. Yeah, you known for doing that. Absolutely. Yeah. So who knows what was going on, because in your eyes, you felt like she was alive. We don't know what you was doing with that girl. We have no idea. No idea. You was with her by yourself because you slip and say bed, and then you slip and say we were in the game room. No, wait a minute. Were you in the bedroom or were you in the game room? Which one? And then you say I was giving her my all. Giving her your all of what? Like, I hope this means that you were waking her up. I would hate to think that you put on Summer Walker and close the blinds, and I would hate to feel that way. Because what you playing romantical music for, rubbing on this girl, all that weird. It's like she hold deceased. Like, I'm just saying. It's given, it's weird.
Nothing crossed my heart. I hope to die on this Bible right here. I don't know nothing. I didn't sit and make no alibi. I didn't even have time. I got there an hour later. The nurse came in the door. The nurse came in the door. Tried to help pull her, tried to put some salines in her, but her energy, she didn't have no electrolytes, her oxygen.
Hold on. I need y'all to pay attention that he said that she didn't have no oxygen. That means that she's not breathing. Y'all, listen.
Was low, so she couldn't find. Well, tried to put some salines in her, but her energy, she didn't have no electrolytes. Her oxygen was low, so she tried to put some salines in her, but her energy, she didn't have no electrolytes. Her oxygen was low, so she couldn't find them. Y'all don't understand.
So you couldn't find the vein because she didn't have no oxygen? Electrolytes low? What? And how you know it was saline? You don't know what was in that bag. You have no idea. Just assuming. Like, what? You don't need electrolytes to move. I can go days without drinking anything that got electrolytes in, and I'm still gonna be able to move. I'm still gonna be able to talk. I'm still gonna be able to do all those things. Having low oxygen does not mean that you can't find a vein. That's what happens when people are dead. So, of course, she wasn't finding one. Wrapping anything around her arm none of that would have worked. None of that, because she's deceased. So you can't do any of those things. That's why the IV didn't work, or anything like that. Because she was deceased. Like, you don't get to fix this. You don't get to doll it up. The girl was dead. No matter how you flip it. Now her oxygen was low. How do you know she was breathing if she's unconscious? I mean, unresponsive. How do you know she's breathing? Because she wasn't moving. Her moving and things like that is an indicator that she's breathing. If she is not moving, what is your indicator of her breathing? Because even the chest going up and down is movement. Even if it's faint. And if a person is struggling to breathe, the chest is going to move faster. Like if you're struggling to breathe, the chest moves faster. Panting, and whatnot. You can tell when a person is struggling to breathe. If a person is their oxygen is just low and their body isn't fighting it, meaning they're not, because if you actively feel like you can't breathe, you're going to panic. You're going to have a sense of panic. So I'm like, nothing that you're saying makes sense. Nothing. None of this makes. All you're explaining, Nazir, is a deceased person. That's all you're explaining. Is someone that isn't alive. Even someone that's unresponsive, if they're alive, Nazir, because unresponsive does not literally mean deceased. That doesn't mean that. But even if a person is unresponsive, they could still take an IV. You could still find a vein, all of that. Even if they're unresponsive. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You tried it. You tried it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, unresponsive people you could still put an IV in them. You sure can. It's the dead ones you're going to have a hard time with. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the deceased people you're gonna have a hard time finding veins and administering any type of IV at all. That's gonna be rough. Trying to, because damn near it's impossible, pretty much. So yeah, that's why it didn't work. Again, you're not explaining someone that is alive by stating that the IV didn't work. Her oxygen, what do you mean her oxygen's low? What does that have to do with an IV? And if her oxygen was low, why wasn't somebody doing CPR? Because when y'all working out for an hour, because if her oxygen's so low to the point where you couldn't tell if she was breathing or not, that a person not breathing, if that's when you administer CPR. You don't have a machine there to state how low her oxygen was or anything like that. So how do you know that? Like, none of that makes sense. How are you telling us that her oxygen was low? How do you know that? Was there a machine? No. Oh, okay. Did the doctor tell you that? Because the doctor said that she had stable vitals. So that means that her oxygen was fine. There was no fighting to breathe, or anything like that. How wouldn't Shanquella been fighting to breathe if she had her neck decapitated internally? Nazir, the injury happened before you came. Shanquella only lived for 15 minutes after her injury. You said that you didn't see a fight. You said none of that happened. Okay. How was her oxygen low when her neck is decapitated internally? That's impossible. You said you got there after 3. She was gone long before that. Long before. So that means that no matter what, Nazir, when you got there, she was deceased. She was gone. There's no way around it. Because with that injury, again, Nazir, she didn't die because of alcohol poisoning. It's like you're still going along with that. Like it's a cheap hat. No. Spinal cord injury, atlas fixation. Your story, no matter how you try to spin it, turn it, it's a lie. That's what happened. You lied. They lied to you, and now you lying. Because there's no way of her being alive. No way. Even if the fight happened an hour before you got there, 20 minutes before you got there, either way it go, when you walked in that door, she was gone. There's no way around that. And you keep explaining someone that is deceased, even with the IV didn't work, the saline bag that didn't work, her oxygen was no, there was no oxygen at all. Who told you she was breathing? Who told you that? Who? You can see if someone's breathing. You can hear if someone's breathing. You can feel if someone's breathing. Put your hand above the nose, under the nose. You can do all of that, but her oxygen was low with no oxygen monitor there to let you know what's what. There was no monitor that was to put on her finger to check her temperature. Nothing like that. There was none of that was there. So it's like, where are you getting this information? Weird.
And what I went through. Y'all don't understand. Y'all won't understand. So y'all keep posting my address and all that shit. Y'all have fun. Y'all have fun. Y'all know y'all hurting yourself. I'm not hurting. I'm not bothered by this because I know the truth. Me and God know the truth.
So he said him and God know the truth. Now, again, I'm not going to state that Shanquella, this photo here is fake because again, I'll pull up the B&B. Again, if you look at this photo, this is the room. This is Linda 32 right here, the same room that they stayed in. And this is the room that this photograph is allegedly taken in. This is the room. If you pay attention again to the chest in the middle of this floor, in the photograph, the chest is to the right. The paramedics are standing over this body. I don't know if that's Shanquella, because I said it's mighty convenient that her face is not being shown. But this doctor that is shown in the picture looks completely different from the actual doctor, which is here. The actual doctor, Carolina Orlenes. I don't know. Again, the photograph could be staged. Not going to say that it isn't, but I mean, who will go through all this trouble? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's a lot to stage this photograph. But I mean, you never know. You just never know. But it could definitely be real. This could be a real photograph of what happened, or how they found her. This absolutely could be. I'm not going to say that it's fake. This could be an authentic photo. It absolutely could be. It could be an authentic photo from what happened. Again, the throw rug, if you look on the floor right there, the brown throw rug, if you look here on the picture from the site, the brown throw rug, the two wicker chairs and whatnot, a bigger picture of this blown up. Do I have one? I need to look and see. But you can see the black painting or the picture. I don't know if what is that, a carousel or something like that? No, not carousel. The ride, whatever that ride is called. That black photograph, that painting back there is in this photo. It is in it. You can see the bottom of it in the picture. So again, this is really the villa. Is it staged? I don't know. It could be, again, an authentic photo. Now, I know a lot of people have questions about the body shape and whatnot. Again, I am not a doctor. I know that it could take up to 3 to 5 days for the body to bloat and, to actually expand and get, like that. In some cases, I know allegedly temperature affects things and slows things and makes some things go faster, happen sooner. Again, I have no idea. I am not a doctor nor nurse, so I can't say if this is truly how her body would be. I honestly feel like Shanquella passed away in the AM. I feel that it was in the morning. Thank you, Candace. Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel. Yeah, because that would have bothered me all night. Thank you, because I was still sitting here literally thinking, like, what is that called? I know it's not a carousel. That's what the horse is. I believe in Geraldo. Good for you. But yeah, this picture could be real. It definitely could be. I'm not going to say that it's fake with no proof of it being fake. I do not feel that these doctors look alike. I don't think that I don't feel like that's the doctor. I don't know. I feel some type of way about this doctor because this lady is not this lady sitting right there. That is not her. I just don't feel that way. I don't. This lady in this picture has a little bit more chest than this lady. She ain't really got no titties like that. This lady got titties. She got boobage. She does not. Flat chested, flat nose. She bigger chest, pointy nose. I don't know. This one cakes on the makeup. This one barely wear makeup at all. But this one definitely has on makeup in this photograph with glasses. And I believe that those are reader glasses. So that means that she wears those glasses very so much often. People that wear sunglasses in the public also have sensitivity to the sun. So that could be another reason why she wears shades all the time while out in the public and wears glasses indoors, you know, and whatnot, especially while working. But again, they don't look alike. This lady looks at least 10 years older than this girl here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The doctors do not sit well with me. They don't sit well with me. But yeah, let me know what you think. I have to get out of here. I'm at my tomorrow mark. I love you guys. We'll be live again tomorrow. All that matters is that Shanquella get justice. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we need to keep the conversation going. We do. I'm not going to say that the picture is staged. I don't know. A lot of the things that that was in the room, it was, and with the first responders being there, I don't know. It could be real. It absolutely could be. Maybe Nazir will do the family a favor, and if that picture is real, contact them and be like, look, I saw a picture online, and you know that's them. I mean, that's her. I don't know, but he could verify that, but nobody else can, honestly. The family has never seen Shanquella in that state, but I don't know, maybe Bernard, if Shanquella's body was, you know, that swollen because it took him like almost 2 weeks to get her body. So, or something like that, wasn't it? Like almost 2 weeks, some week and a half, 2 weeks, for them to get her. So I don't know. A lot of y'all saying it was definitely staged. I don't know. I mean, Geraldo, I don't know. He's a pretty shiesty person. He is a pretty shiesty person. So you just never know. You just never know. It could definitely be. I don't know. But I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for all of the super chats and super stickers and the support and for continuously watching me. I love you all. Again, justice for Shanquella and the Robinson family. I will keep y'all updated on everything that comes of this case. I don't know. I'm just getting really frustrated because it's just like, why aren't people in jail? Like, these people need to go to jail. Why is she free? Like, she literally lied. We have so much proof that she lied. Can we start with her? I want people to go to jail. That's like literally all I want for my birthday. I want people to go to jail. Because they need to start. It's just too much proof out here for people to not be paying already, is how I feel. Like, I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting really frustrated. But yeah, so I love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. We'll be on Station and we'll be live here on YouTube. Until then, y'all have a good night.
Fresh,